Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Law Day and May 1st and May Day. We're bringing to you some connections, at least, that didn't seem to be readily available yesterday, although they allude to be posted yesterday. If anyone hasn't seen them, there are checklists that have been provided by the Economic Development Department, who is the lead department for issuing COVID-19 prevention checklists, as stated by the governor. If you go to that link that is on our agenda page, you'll see that there's a whole bunch of these industries that were targeted for opening with checklists in May. Just to name a few: golf courses, drive-in theaters, barbershops, salons, and the one I like the most, dog grooming. And there are a few others too, including auto dealerships. But the golf courses one in particular, I thought I'd mention. If you review the rules related to being able to go out and golf today and in the month of May, it says that you're supposed to stay in your county. So keep in mind that wherever you live, you're supposed to stay in your county. I have heard rumors. I haven't seen it in writing, so I'll call it a rumor. Heard a rumor from someone that the MGA is interpreting staying in your county to also be expanded to where you're a member of a golf course, but you might want to check on that further if you are a member outside your county of a particular course or club. We also had a question yesterday from a member asking about whether or not there's a special remote notary jurat. Angela, were you going to comment on that, or were you leaving me to comment on that?
I have the actual information right here. It is Executive Order 37, and if you go to that order, it's in section 2B, number 14, and basically at the end of that, it states that you'll add the following language to the notary and or witness signature lines, which says notarized and or witnessed remotely in accordance with Executive Order 37 FY 1920.
So that's something that I've done a few of these remote notarizations. I find that to be the easiest part of that executive order. The harder parts, of course, are initialing every page, showing every page in the video, taking a swearing in from the people that you're going to be the signatories, they're called in the executive order, and then shepherding that document to all the witnesses if it's a witness type document, and getting it finally to the notary to be able to exercise their signature. So I just threw that in. Anything else on that, Angela? Okay, and we have a link to that executive order, right? Yeah.
Yes, if you go to our page, all the executive orders are linked.
So that brings us to our special guest for today. I see that Aria E. has joined us from our Board of Overseers. And Aria, appreciate you joining us again this Friday. And we're hoping that you may have some pulse or a feel on the pulse of what's happening with our bar members.
Hi, yes, thanks, Dad. I think our continued reaching out to folks has increased our numbers on the ethics helpline. So thank y'all for keeping us busy. We love to be in that role with you and to provide whatever advice or resources we can. I think that, yeah.
All right, if I could, I just want to ask, since you mentioned it, Could you tell us the hours again of the
Sure.
ethics helpline? Because I think it got abbreviated, right?
Well, we've tried to expand it, especially during the pandemic. So right now we're returning calls and emails throughout all of the days that we're available to do so. So ordinarily, before the pandemic, we were Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 11 to 3. But we have, if you've heard me or Justin address the folks during Bar Talk, we've trying to make clear that we are willing to, as time allows, answer calls and emails on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we don't want to have people being out of reach from us if they need us. For emergency calls, call anytime and the receptionist will find one of us. I'm in the office still 2 to 3 days a week, and most of the attorneys are working fully remote, but we're all piped in to our email and the ethics helpline, and our receptionist has been notifying us. So if, for instance, you haven't heard from somebody in a couple of days, that means that the system broke down, and we apologize, and please get back in touch with us. So
thank you very much.
Sure. You know, I'm not gonna do my usual talk with y'all today because I'm feeling still pretty raw about Jackie's passing. And for those of you who aren't aware, Jackie Rogers, I think it was announced on Bar Talk a couple of days ago, and we did a message out to the bar membership. But it's been a huge loss for us. It was always expected that Jackie would come back, and it got me to thinking the last couple of days. I'm gonna try to hold it together here, that as we're going through particularly this difficult time, you know, to not have regrets. And what I mean by that is, when I was thinking about the time with Jackie, I wish I'd had more time with Jackie, particularly when trying to put together the board's vision as bar counsel and the executive director. And we didn't have enough time. And if you're working with people in your organization, whether you're in a nonprofit, whether you're in a private firm, Thad, in your office, you know, please make sure to have no regrets as you leave that person every day. Whether and I don't mean just folks you work with, your colleagues, but your family members and your friends. And I think of all the people that I know who have been sick over the years, and I question, you know, did I reach out to them enough? Did I call them? Did I text them? I don't want to have those regrets. And I certainly did have a lot of contact with Jackie. I still feel like I wanted more. And of course, you don't want to be a stalker with somebody either, but just make sure that, particularly with the introverts in your life, the doers, the givers, and if you're a doer or a giver, you ask for some of that contact because it may not come your way otherwise. And I really appreciate those selfless people out in the world that that need a little extra attention because they're often not looking for it. So just, I wanted to say that to make sure to praise people enough, thank them enough, and support them enough, because in the end, none of us wants to have those kinds of regrets. So.
Aria, thank you. Those are very good thoughts, and especially, and you were alluding to this too in your thoughts about Jackie, is that it's really this, having these regrets is really hitting us all, because
Right.
We have been separated because of this COVID-19
That's right.
situation that has affected us from seeing our friends and our relatives. So thank you for your thoughts.
Sure. And thanks for letting me talk today. I might have gone over my 5 minutes, but I think it's a really important message for us to stay connected, particularly during this time.
Thank you. On the business side of things, Angela.
Thanks, Ari. I appreciate your thoughts. I wanted to say Happy Law Day to everybody. You're in you're a profession for a reason, and we celebrate you. A quick update for our Law Day contest. It closed yesterday. As of right now, obviously things had to be postmarked by yesterday, so we might get a few more in. But we have a dozen or so submissions. We were hoping for more this year. It's more than last year, but we were hoping for more. But in these times, I think it's still a victory to receive them. So if you were one of the people spreading the word, we appreciate that. Thank you. The ABA annual meeting, for those of you that have an interest in that, or the associated section meetings that go along with that, they have, it was originally supposed to be held in Chicago. This year it has been changed to an entirely virtual meeting. They'll be putting out more information as we go along. And we, as you can see here, we've got several upcoming guests for next week. We appreciate all the folks that are willing to come on and speak. And I do see a question here that came up, and maybe Aria can shed some light, because I've received other questions like this about sending cards for Jackie, where I've at this point been saying send them to the overseers, because
Right.
that's an address. I knew you guys would get it to her family, but is there anything else we should be putting out?
You can still send them to us if that's easier for y'all. But I'm happy to provide you. I just want to check with the family before I start handing out her home address. I'm sure that would be fine, but feel free to send them my attention or Jen Perry, and we are packaging up some a lot of you were so great, and I didn't get to say this about sending congratulations to Jackie after the Blue Award. She was aware that she received that, and she was so pleased, and so were her family. So I've continued to get congratulatory remarks, and I'm going to be packaging those up and sending them out to her family. Thank you.
Thanks, Aria. That's all I have.
We'll be doing, okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, we'll be hosting a celebration of Jackie's lives when everybody can get together to do that. I know a lot of people have had that question too, and I don't know what that's going to look like, but we are absolutely going to be doing something to celebrate her. So stay tuned, and we'll do another email blast to let folks know.
Thank you very much, Aria and Angela. One of the things I wanted to touch upon is we have been hearing from, our members that they're concerned about the transparency and essentially the decision-making process that the judicial branch is going through without, just informing us of what considerations they have and so forth. It's hard to gauge how they're making their decisions. So one of the things we're doing is we're picking up on that. We're getting ready to issue a letter, formal letter today, asking for more transparency and involvement in the process. I just sense that from what's been shared with us, for instance, we had an email shared with us from the Hancock County Bar clerk at, I'm not sure if it was the Ellsworth Court or not, that said they had 600 criminal cases, for instance, that they had to shepherd through the process one way or another, and that their capability is essentially 25 cases in the morning and 25 cases in the afternoon. So I would imagine that with constraints like that, it can affect how civil cases are also treated. And so there's just a whole bunch of logistics that I'm sure the judicial branch is weighing on how they're going to roll out the new normal for all of our cases. And we're just we're offering the olive branch of being involved in that as stakeholders, and any other ideas that you have as listeners and that you've heard of or anything like that, please forward them to us too. We're just trying to help our justice system work as well as it can. And I think we're just about out of time, I guess. So what I'd ask for, I guess, is if there are any alibis or questions, this is the time to do it. I see Julie Flynn from the Communications Directorate of the Judicial Branch is also tuning in. I don't know if she has any updates to share with us as a result of the governor's new order in the last couple days. Julie, anything?
No, we don't have any updates for today. We would try to get those to you in advance of this meeting, and look forward to receiving the formal letter from the Board of Governors. I will tell Amy about that.
Okay, I appreciate that, Julie. And I appreciate the fact that you guys have been really good at responding to us whenever you have information to share, and I appreciate it. Any other alibis before we go?
There was a question on chat about the Secretary of State filing deadline for June 1st. I actually reached out to that office and was told it would still be June 1st because it's online and it's easy and you can do it. But it was suggested that maybe it's not as easy as just it being available. It's more of a matter of funding and availability of getting the documents together. So it was suggested that you reach out and request an extension, and that if maybe they get enough of those, they will extend it. But as of right now, last we heard was June 1st.
And that's right. And we had shared that too a little while ago. They had come out with that position. If there are specific instances that you're running into with your clients, or your clients are running into that you know of, that would prevent them from easily being able to file an annual report by June 1st, please let us know. And if we've got concerns that we can forward to them, we will do so. Thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend. I hear it's going to be very nice.
Thanks, Thad.
Aria. Oh.